And welcome back. Thank you so much for watching TV1 और आप देख रहे हैं Sunday Brunch from Houston. And before we go back to our topic, मैं नंबर एक बार फिर दे दूँ आपको. It is 855-886-6387 extension 4. And the more you call this number, the higher chances of winning. और जो third question है आज के show का वो है Who provides the venue for Sunday Brunch from Houston? This program that you're watching, who provides it? We need the whole name and you will win yourself a prize. And of course, it's from Ashe Skincare. आप जीतेंगे एक उनसे giveaway, but you would have to call the number. और चलते हैं वापस topic के ऊपर थोड़ी सी और बातचीत करते हैं. And Dr. Siv, we'll start off with you. Another question that people have is between the traditional vitamins for children and the chewable one. Is there a difference, how it's better for the teeth or worse out for the teeth?
Absolutely. Anything that you ingest in your mouth, the way the teeth are, our anatomy, there's a lot of grooves and fissures in the teeth. So if you have something that's chewable and it sticks into your tooth, the way cavities are formed is bacteria use carbohydrates as a energy food source to produce acids. And those acids are what start to eat away at your teeth. So if you're eating chewable vitamins and they're sticking in your teeth and you forget to brush your teeth at night, well then that's going to eventually turn into a cavity. So taking a solid chewable vitamin would be better for you than having a chewable one. But I know a lot of kids, they have different flavors now, like fruit punch, etc. So that's what, that's an incentive for them to take their vitamins. Just make sure that you brush your teeth really, really well after they eat those chewable vitamins.
Okay, definitely. And Dr. Rango, another question that I have for you is when it comes to chiropractic care. People think, oh, only when I have back pain, that's the only thing chiropractic care takes care of. What do you have to say about that?
Well, we take care of people from all the way from head to toe. If you have a headache or a toe ache, we can treat it and everything in between. You have to remember that if you take the nervous system and take it out of the human body, it can stand up on its own. So we treat the entire nervous system, so anything in between is something that a doctor of chiropractic can handle. Now, I don't want to just make that like doctors of chiropractic can do anything and everything. No, there are certain things related to this human body that we deal with, and if it's out of our spectrum, then we take and refer them out to other doctors who do a much better job than we do about that.
Okay, definitely. And now, Dr. Kadezi, another point that's really important for our viewers out there is when you go to a doctor for screenings, for annual checkups, yearly checkups, what would you have to say how important that is and why it should be done?
Again, it's extremely important that you need to get a yearly physical, or if you're a diabetic, you need to come more frequently to see your doctor, because that's where we can pick up the illnesses really early. It's kind of like I tell my patients, I give an example, like, once your pipes are clogged up, like a plumber, we can open up at one place, but there's a lot of other places that are clogged up. Same way, if you are a cardiologist, will open up one place, the other place will get clogged up. So you want to make sure it doesn't clog up to start with. So you got to take cholesterol medicine, keep your blood pressure under control. So all those things will help you in maintaining those things. So it's very, very important that you know whether you have those illnesses or not.
Definitely. And do you think people should make it a point to go there, get a checkup? Because again, like you said, that there are certain screenings you can do, but at the same point, why they should make it a top priority? What would you have to say about that?
Yes, unless it's your top priority, you will always have excuses not to go to a doctor. Even me, I have a fear when I have to go see my doctor, and we all have a fear. The other thing that prevents us to go see a doctor is procrastination. We put it, I'm too young, I'm only 30-year-old, I'm fine, nothing is going to happen to me. We all think like nothing is going to happen, everything bad happens to other people.
Right.
Nothing.
And something that's important is, and again, in our community and other communities where if you have a history of this, if you have a family history of diabetes, family history of heart problems, so more than likely you will get it. And there are ways of protecting yourself and kind of hoping that that doesn't happen to you.
Yes, there's genetic illnesses. In young people, there are STDs. And most people are not educated about those things. So yes, you have to make sure you come to a doctor at any age. And the other time a patient came to me because he couldn't swallow, a young boy. And I looked inside his mouth, his tonsils were huge, blocking his airway. So there's some things that, we can pick it up at a very short time
Right.
and can help improve the quality of your life.
Of course. And I think, it's like, I'm sure Dr. Rango, you would agree, health is wealth.
Yes, if you have your health, you can do just about everything else.
Right.
And in order to stay healthy, really, I mentioned it before, but if you do very simple things like carbohydrates, really are the enemy of the body. Even cholesterol and diabetes and all those things.
Right.
You
All
think
this.
fats and all this, but it's really cholesterol. The problem is that it's really carbohydrates. People consume way too many carbohydrates.
Right.
And if you stay off, especially the white carbohydrates, you will be doing well. And you put a little more water into your life and a little exercise. It's very simple. And not to have to see a doctor like this is really simple. And
Right.
if you do it and you start from a very early age, one of the problems that I see in for example, in my culture, and I've seen it in your culture as well, is that they try to get young kids, 3 years old, to eat just as much as the dad.
We'll
They
do a
order the
topic
same
about
plate
this.
for the same, for a child who's 30 pounds as a 300-pound father, and they get him to eat the same thing, and they get upset if the child doesn't eat that much.
right.
So those are cultural things. You have to not do that. To prevent that kid from being sick at 30, he has to eat 10 times less than the father.
Of course.
Okay.
And, Dr. Rango, we'll have to do another show just around that, because I think even now the obesity, all these things are becoming such an important factor. And again, sugars, where it starts off at, all of these things we don't have enough time to talk about all this, but anyway. And of course, I want to thank you, Dr. Say, for coming out. I know you all have busy schedules. Thank you so much for coming out. And is there something you would want to leave our viewers with to think about?
Sure. So myself being raised in the South Asian community, our diet consists of, carbohydrates, whether it's naan or, biryani and different forms of rice.
Or nihari
and nihari and all these things. These have a major effect on your teeth because like I was explaining earlier, that's what causes cavities. Also, a lot of South Asians do eat a form of chewing tobacco, gutka and manik chun. That's absolutely terrible for your teeth. Not only does it eat away at your bone levels, but it also can cause oral cancer. Because a lot of our South Asian people do have a history of diabetes and blood pressure, a lot of systemic problems like that, they have an oral manifestation in your mouth. So if you come in for your routine dental checkup, by the condition of your gums, I can tell whether you have the propensity to get diabetes or not. People who are diabetic are more prone to getting gum disease, and people who do have gum disease are more prone to getting a faster onset of diabetes. There's also been studies that have shown that if you have infection in your mouth, then the bacteria can get inside your bloodstream and it can react with your heart and cause bacterial endocarditis. So it's very important for people, in the South Asian community to go to a dentist and get your routine checkups, because you can prevent a lot of other problems. The mouth is a gateway for the rest of the body. My office is located in Houston. We're called Brownstone Dental. We're open 6 days a week. Come by and check us out. And once again, I just want to thank you and the audience for taking their time out to listen to me, what we have to say.
All right.
And it's been my pleasure to be on the show.
All right, thank you so much for coming out. Dr. Rango, I do want to thank you for coming out from your busy schedule and being a part of the show. And what would you leave our viewers with to think about when it comes to chiropractic care?
Well, if you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, then chiropractic could be the answer for these problems. We treat and see people who normally don't even know that there is an issue in their body that is really simple to be treated, like a bone out of place. And we all have them. We just don't know we have them. When you wake up with a little soreness or ache or pain or things that you just didn't have before, chances are you have a bone out of place, and there isn't a medication that's going to put a bone back in place. And 99% of the times when you go to sleep, they'll fall right back in place, and the next day you're okay. But when those things last for weeks, don't, because eventually it's going to get worse. When it was minor, it was easier to take care of, but now if you leave it, it'll take and it'll create other conditions that are related to that joint. joints are related to organs as well. So eventually an organ can fail because the nerve supply to that organ, which is being in some manner deleteriously affected by a joint, it can cause harm and cause disease. So prevention is the key to this, and one of the way to do it is to go see a chiropractor.
Right, definitely. And thank you very much again for coming out to the show. Thank you so much. And Dr. Gadezi, again, thank you so much for coming out. Before you go, I would want you to tell our viewers something when it comes to internal medicine, something that they can think about and start seeing doctors. What would you like to say?
I would say prioritize your health, because if you don't have health, everything else you don't enjoy. Your life becomes meaningless. So we focus more on the quality of life. We're not just focused on the quantity of life. We want you to think that whatever life you have, and most likely we don't know if anybody can die anytime. So basically, if you focus on the quality of your life and prioritize your health, then only then you can you can enjoy your life, and everything else will be meaningful as well.
That's right. And of course, on the note of dying, of course, we all have to die at one point, but there are ways of making it a healthy life, making it a life to live with health and not being in pain, and preventing yourself from getting hurt, and just taking care of yourself. Thank you so much again for taking out the time to be here at this show. And of course, जाने से पहले एक बार फिर I want to thank each and every single one of my guests for coming out here and being a part of this show. And that is what TVOne is trying to do, bring awareness out to our community. And I'm here to bring out topics and discussions. All right, thank you very much to each and every one of you for taking out the time to come into the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. And of course, बातें तो बहुत कर रही हैं, बहुत की हैं हम लोगों ने और करने का दिल भी कर रहा है, लेकिन we have to wrap up the show. But before I go, I do want to give out the phone number that you see on the screen. It is 855-886-6387 extension 4. And this number, not only just winning the prizes, if you want to ask a question for our dentist here, our chiropractor here, or our internal medicine doctor, feel free to send an email out or give a call, and we will forward it to them, and they will call you and speak to you. Again, number screen ke upar hai, and jaane se pehle, I do want to thank each and every one of you for making this show so successful. We have been receiving such an overwhelming response from each and every one of you, and thank you very much from that, from TVOne and from me. और जाने से पहले, I do want to thank Faisal Kamal of Embassy Suites Energy Corridor for providing us the venue. And inshallah, next Sunday मुलाकात होगी एक और topic और बातचीत. And have a wonderful day, and thank you for starting your afternoons with Sunday Brunch from Houston. Allah Hafiz.